Hello, everyone. It's us,
Hi.
Blackpink, and we're here today to discuss with you Tuesday's burning question.
Is there a Naruto tabletop game?
The question to the
there?
forum.
And can
Naruto.
Kale be a ninja?
Can
Yes.
Kale be a ninja?
Which one's Naruto? Is that the one with the balls?
Right, kick him off the
Oh my
fucking
God.
channel right
That's-
now.
No, but I have not seen Dragon Ball Z.
I've not seen Dragon
Oh,
Ball Z. either.
God.
I own a Dragon Ball
much.
Z.
Oh,
Think
God.
I've actually met somebody else that's never
No,
seen
we're
it.
done.
But
That's
more
the
One
end of
Punch
the
Man
stream,
coming.
everyone.
On the
Bye.
19th.
I actually
Alright,
had
we're
to
back.
check that you didn't just like end it, like actually end
I
it,
almost
Brad
did.
style. The
Can't
stream is
believe I'm
over.
actually
I have
friends
a
with
migraine.
people
Bye.
who would say such a thing.
Kale can be the equivalent of Sakura. Useless. Hey, she's not. You have not seen all of.
What do you mean, man?
Naruto,
Well, guys,
apparently.
guys.
Was
K,
useless.
Wrong K. Okay, we're not talking about Keck. We're talking about Kale. All right.
Then she
Keck
got
killed a
unuseless.
rabbit once.
Her
Yeah,
fight
Keck-
against
She killed a rabbit
Sasori.
once.
No, she blew away.
Didn't
the
have proficiency.
Akatsuki, Sasori.
I don't know.
Very
what's
little
going
help
on.
from Lady Chio.
I don't know what
Just saying.
Tuesday's talking about.
Okay.
Me neither, at this
Sorry.
point.
Language with me.
Sorry.
She
It's
speaks weeb.
I just hear ninja. Like, I'm just hearing ninja.
Kale's gonna put
Not
the
easy to
genjutsu
destroy
on
an
you, boy.
Yeah.
Jutsu.
Anything the fuck I want, jutsu. That's the whole show. This thing, I just need up jutsu.
I have a
Kale's
superpower.
using the guiding boltsu on all
I
of you.
didn't
And she, like,
Or how about I'm always trying to inflict wounds on just anyone.
Yeah.
Like I think I tried to inflict wounds on a dead. Yeah.
on
okay.
Banshee.
Mm.
Yeah. The inflict wounds is like the whatever. What's that
It's wood.
like
The
crazy
actual wood.
thing they do with their
Quality
hands,
wood.
right? And then you
Yeah.
poke them.
Gotcha.
Oh, yeah. And necrotic energy.
I'm looking for a table game group that isn't a bunch of weebs, please.
Wow.
Hey man, well glad you found it. We've only got one weeb here.
Nice to know you.
It's Brad.
Yo, what's up?
We're trying to wean him off.
Yeah.
Um,
If
There's
you
no
want
weaning a weeb.
my anime list, I can link it to you. Just ask me on
my
Discord.
God.
Yep. Please send it.
Naruto,
Alright.
pen and paper, RPG. Found it.
And there it is.
exists.
All right.
I'm not surprised.
We got a short session today, so we'll jump in quickish. I got a doctor's appointment at 6:30. That Brad yelled at me beforehand for the stream, so can you guys please yell at Brad in the chat?
You get a
He's
Jinchuriki.
harassed me. A what?
What? I want a pigeon
You
turkey.
get.
A gin and
Yeah,
Cherokee?
I can have a nine-tailed fox inside me.
You pick
What?
ninjutsu, genjutsu, and taijutsu.
What is happening?
Did I just hear that?
Bloodlines.
I want to be taijutsu like rock.
Yeah, I think I'd go taijutsu as well.
All right.
But it never
Yeah.
made sense, did it?
Rock Lee's the best.
But then
character.
you also
Doesn't need to make sense. You see those weights?
you
Oh,
get
no,
to
do
like
you stop that,
1,000
Jay?
years of
We'll
pain.
ground you.
You get to do the I'm opening the 7th gate.
Yeah.
Just this once.
No, never open the 7th gate.
I gotta go out. Just this once. They basically did exactly the
I
same
hate
thing
you
in
guys
Dragon
so
Ball Z.
much
though.
right now.
Every
That's
single,
funny.
every
Oh,
single
man.
shonen-y show like that, they do that. Dragon Ball Z would always do it. I'm doing Kaioken times 30. No, you'll rip yourself apart.
You'll die.
Yeah, the My Hero Academia. I'm gonna use more than my finger amount of power, or whatever he says. I'm gonna use my whole arm to punch. No.
Oh,
You'll
gosh.
No!
Happened.
Oh. Okay. All right. Did we get it out? We good?
Yeah, but to
Yeah.
come full circle, it appears after a brief Google search that there is a
So-
Naruto.
And we
On
will
one of these
begin
show
running
shows-
it tomorrow.
Tuesday is going to run a Shill Show Table Story Naruto
yeah.
one shot.
All right, bitches.
Tuesday. We'll
Stepping
figure
up
it
to
out.
the plate.
It can't be next
Sounds
month because next month is Broom Bitches or whatever it was called. So
What?
I don't
Broom
remember.
Bitches?
It was Broom Bitch.
Or,
it was broom,
or-
broom Switch. Broom Witch.
It could also be Sandbox Prime. And if you don't understand that meme, that's because only me and Jay do. And if you want to get in on that meme, then you got to go ahead and subscribe to our Patreon and listen to the Ready to Roll podcast. That's right, we have a DM podcast. It's just us 4 DMs, me, Jay, Whack, and Pumpkinberry chatting shit. Usually around a subject, but I think I always get about halfway through those podcasts, Jay, and realize I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, and it's only we were trying to describe. We're like last night was like Sandbox versus Railroad style of GM, but like all of it was just us trying to define what that meant. We were like, I don't know if I can know what I don't know what a dice is, guys.
First 10 minutes, it's like what
is that?
So you're really selling this podcast here?
We were
So
trying.
I'm gonna go ahead and
we
say
were
it's
trying.
probably good.
Listen,
It's so
You
great.
guys to know, 10 minutes in, I was like, guys, let's get some more energy in here. So I shot a G Fuel into my eye sockets, and then we brought the rest of the podcast.
I'm
The
just gonna
first 10
sip
minutes is a
some
little
G Fuel
dull.
here right
Powder
now.
form or
50.
go for the
just
liquid?
powder form. And then you put in the eyedroppers afterwards, so it liquefies.
Oh,
How
okay.
did you feel today, Fran?
That's nice, G Fuel.
Delicious.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Mhm.
So, last week, on last week's episode, we did a thing. You all did a thing. Over the course of the adventure here, you've been trying to cure Kale of her terrible disease. This disease that saps the life and essentially sucks all of your energy out. Was it this one? It was this one.
Depression.
Caldro and Kale, you've traveled far and wide across the continent of Vormir here, essentially from one side of it to the other. And finally, after meeting some new party members in Megan and Kesh, you found your way to this abandoned monastery atop a somewhat like cliff / rock side. There it is. That kind of juts out over a frozen lake. It looked like, and you discovered as you had gone through it, that this monastery was built on the top of this rock / cliff edge, and then this town that had these large, like towering walls and some beautiful homes that had been abandoned and almost frozen in time. The further you went up the city, all of that had been built after the monastery. As you were kind of traipsing through, making new friends in an orc, I think a nomadic tribe that was an hour or two away, looking to make this city their last refuge and their new home. You had traveled up, and Megan got caught up in some looting. And there was a moment where the party kind of came together in the living room or the rundown dining room of a broken down house, and Megan had a oopsie moment. He went to pass a thank you so much for the fire on the city. He went to pass a small vial to Kale from a story up, and had a oops moment as the cork came uncapped, slipped out of your hands, and this lavender and brimstone scented liquid that you had found set the city ablaze. It's been a rapid growing wildfire. It pops and crackles and kind of explodes things outwards and jettisons debris and more fire, and then sets more and more things alight. And this fire has been steadily growing and eating the city from the middle down to the bottom and now up to the top. Oh, these drawings are killing me. And you four continued on. Taldra, we had a moment where your precious hammer broke as you were trying to break down a door, the last door to get up to the monastery. It broke, and you broke down the door with the help of Kesh, storming up into the monastery. You all faced down a banshee quite immediately, not even kind of discarding your own safety, just jumping into the fray. She tried to escape, and Kale, I believe, dealt the last blow, summoned her spiritual weapon, this large, I think this time it was a scimitar, as it kind of cut a swath through this banshee that has taken over this abandoned city and monastery. And you were free to explore. And from exploring, got a little stuck on a puzzle while you were looking for this fountain of youth, but you'd found it, this fountain of life, rather. kind of going down this spiral staircase after Kesh had a revelation of his own kind of order that he's a part of, being somewhat integrated into the building of this monastery. You all found a secret entrance that took you in a spiraling staircase down to a stone plateau where this fountain of life or wellness was. And Kale stepped in. The exhaustion was too much for Kale to bear, and she passed out. And after a couple of moments, Kale, you had a talk with your patron goddess, with Eldath. She revealed herself to you in the form of Miriam, a woman that you had rescued back in Finbar. And she gave you a necklace after a long, kind of heartfelt conversation, and praised you for all of the good deeds that you'd done. And told you that although she cannot see Taldro and hasn't seen him in a while, he seems blocked from her vision. She also revealed that there's something evil lurking within the Western Fade, the West Forest that occupies the continent of Vormir. Kissed you on the forehead, thanked you again for your service to her, and gave you an amulet. Her symbol now wrapped around your neck, replacing your old one, looking a little newer, and making you feel a little stronger. She had told you that it cannot cure the curse, but it will help and will give you strength, and she will lend you her strength on a daily basis if she can. So I think where we left off was Kale and Taldro, you were kind of plopping up these stairways, the stairway here. And Megan and Kesh, you guys, you two would come up you'd come up from the fountain, right? So I think we start this just like a couple minutes before here. Well, you were all looking for a way out, if I'm not mistaken, or you were looking for something. What are you all looking for here? Is you come up from the fountain as your boots kind of clink along the metal staircase, and you come back up into that I believe I described it as like octagonal room in the middle of it, with the 2 stories, the stairs up to the second story. This is the back, I think it's the northwestern room that you're in of the temple.
I was actually looking for a way to open and close the secret entrance from the inside.
Okay. Give me a investigation check.
I've got my sheet open. I'm ready. Shut up, I'm ready. I exist. There we go.
I exist. A nat 1. I think it's pretty unsurprising as well. As you're coming up the stairway here, the ceiling to this quote unquote room, it's just essentially the floor of the room above it, where the room that you would first come in and discover the puzzle. And this light's kind of seeping down, but there's no other light in here. So without any kind of like light sources, you're not likely to find anything.
I put my goggles on and I try again. No, okay, that's fair. That's fair.
Kesh just seeing him poke around. What exactly are we looking for again?
I don't know what you're looking for. I'm looking for a way to open and close this fucking door, innit?
You could just leave it open. No one's going to come in here anyway.
We don't know that. We could have like a nice kip down there.
What?
Have a nice kip, you know?
No.
You know, if we close it and then it'd be safe, and that means we can all of us as a unit, have a nice kip. You all right?
No, I don't think so. What the hell is a kip?
A kip. Have a bit of kip. Catch a bit of kip.
Alrighty then.
When you're tired.
A nap? Rest? Sitting? Relaxing?
What do you think I've been saying to you for the last 10 minutes?
Kip?
Kip. Have a nice kip.
Kip. Alrighty then. Strange. Mm-hmm. Just kind of walk up to the room again and More of just looking at the inscription, just going around the circle again.
Okay. You're looking specifically at the inscription?
Yeah, I guess just the kind of following the words around, kind of just rereading it again to myself, just realizing this is what our order was protecting. This is,
yeah,
in one way or another, like, you know, connected to us. So.
Okay. And what are you trying to do when you look at it? Are you just staring at it, or
just reading it out loud to myself? Just kind of reflecting on it.
Yeah, it says back again the same phrase that we promise to serve and protect the weak, the good, heal the sick, and I'm sorry, the end of it slips my mind.
Yeah.
But there is still that kind of piece at the north part of it, the 12 o'clock. That was different. Roll me an investigation check. I'll give you advantage on this one, Megan. Here, if you'd like. As like you and Cash start to look around a little bit more, just give me another roll and we'll count it as advantage here. Okay. Yeah, we'll take the 16. This one on the left anyways. Yeah, so as you and Cash start to look around, Cash, I think while you're reading through that inscription, it might maybe the thought hits you again that there was the piece of the mosaic tile that Kale had to kind of set down. And as you're kind of looking around, maybe you put on your goggles there, Megan, you can see a little bit of like a fracture in the ceiling, or in the floor underneath where that tile goes. You might be able to assume that taking the tile out might reset the mechanism.
Can I just take it out?
Yeah, you walk over, pull it out, and you can hear the mechanism start to whir. Some of the gears start to, and then there's the kind of rhythmic shifting of the tiles, as they start to kind of unfurl from each other in place around.
What did you do?
Oh, I think I got it.
Hey, what did you do?
They're
still down there, you know.
We're on the outside, yeah?
Yeah, you guys are above, I'm assuming right now, above along the mosaic tile there, and in that.
All right, it opens again. It's a door. Door's on like a one-use thing.
You've never been in a one-use door?
It's not a door then, is it?
It's called a trap, that's right. Falling for them is what we do. It's really what we do.
I've never fallen for a trap in my life, man. Oh, like one time. That you know of.
Having flashbacks of how many times he's been stabbed in one hallway.
I think as this is happening here to Kale and Taldro, you're both walking up the stairs, and you can see the light starting to disappear as you can hear the mechanism whirring up, and the kind of again rhythmic as they're setting back into place in that spiral formation.
They are trapping us in, no?
That cannot be good. Doesn't get any darker for us, I guess, right? Because we both have dark vision.
I always
see that shrinking.
You do both, right? Orcs have dark vision.
Yeah.
I always think, okay, yeah. I always think that Kale's got it, and then, but it's actually just Megan. You're the only one. Okay.
Just to point that out.
Loser. Let's bully him.
I always mix orcs and dragonborns together because like dragonborns don't have dark vision.
I always think dragonborns do.
Yeah,
I think they do too.
So I always make the same assumption with orcs, where I'm like, oh, they have to. No, they're like dragonborns, right?
Yeah.
And then I
don't know why orcs do, because it's supposed to be. It's usually a thing.
Quite a lot of races do have dark vision.
Well, because they're like mountain, like they're supposed to live underground, right? But yeah, I think you can both see it. There is light escaping it. I feel like in your dark vision, you're also like, you're not, or you're more than 60 feet away from the entrance here.
Gotcha.
So you can see it kind of disappearing out of the range of your vision where it's this like faint light. You can see the rhythmic, and they're closing, and then the sound kind of echoes throughout the cavern here. With every stone pulled down, it just kind of cascades throughout and magnifies it a lot more.
Perhaps we should speed up.
Right.
Yeah. You feel better, yes?
A lot better. Yes.
You have to put
I
those
can
new
walk
muscles to the
rather
test.
fast.
Start
Yeah.
skedaddle
All
to
right.
skedoodling.
Give me athletics checks, the both of you.
Let's see how strong you
Resilience.
really are.
No pressure though.
Athletics
Flat
test.
athletics.
8,
8.
18.
which is better than it formerly would
know
have
what?
been.
There's no minus to it anymore. Yeah, Kale keeps up. I think maybe Talendra, you just like do, and then like you get up like 2 levels and you realize she's just getting up to the first. But you can definitely see an improvement. She doesn't maybe need the rail anymore. Maybe you start off at first like kind of hoisting yourself up, and then you realize like, oh, it's okay. I can walk.
I feel like I need a break.
Yeah,
After
that's
2 steps.
a good pace. I think there's a you run up the spiral staircase. Megan and Kesh are having this conversation, and I think like, are you two trying to stop it from closing at all, or are you just letting it close?
I probably
I don't know. They're running up, so
Yeah, I'm just asking. Yeah.
do you gonna put
one
it
time.
back in. One time. Mhm.
A couple away, like 4, 3, and like Taldro, you two are coming up. There's like 3 panels that are about to close, and you're 1 stairway away. If you were to like run really hard right now, you could make it through, but Kale probably wouldn't. What do you guys do?
Wait, what is it? How does it open and / close?
It's a circular, like if you imagine what is it, like 12 different tiles that are rectangular. The mechanism has pulled them underneath and then folded them back in a circle. So it's just a circular spiral of all these tiles that are kind of stacking up and being sorted out underneath the floor here. You can see the mechanism if you look underneath. You can see where all the tiles are stored. They just essentially move back and stack on top of each other. So when they're
I
When
hit
it-
the
does it-
tiles.
You what?
I hit the tiles with the hammer. Yeah.
Okay.
Just if it's gonna trap us in,
Okay.
and I still have the opportunity to like smash a hole,
Yeah.
smash a hole.
Give me an
Taldro
attack roll with the Warhammer.
Smash hole.
Taldro smash.
Hey Peachy, I just want to let you know this is completely your fault. It's been 5 minutes.
25.
It's been 5 minutes.
So Taldro's running up. You guys are having this conversation here. Like, should we put it in? It's I'm not
Oh,
right.
dear.
And then it's the last one is closing here. It's like, and then suddenly, boom! As it's a little wide here, like 3 feet wide. It just pops off, smacks over into the mosaic tile, and makes a loud kind of like crash. And you start to hear the machine, whatever mechanism seems to be controlling it, just constantly shuffling in the background. You see Taldro's figure, like the hammer.
Quickly, Kale.
Taldro, what did you do?
What? Oh, you were there. I thought that you had left and it was closing.
It was closing because I closed it.
Oh, I thought we were trapped.
Why would you do that?
I thought we were going to be trapped. I wanted to make sure that before. I was worried that it would close and go into the wall too far for me to be able to break.
All right, where the fuck are you people from? Where you only use doors once?
It's not normal
That's just
door.
crosses his hands and or crosses his arms
This
and
is
just
not a normal door. Look at it.
It was
It's
rather
still
a puzzle.
essentially a door. It doesn't stop from being a door because it's made out of
Can I?
tiles.
If it's tiles coming together like fucking nano machines, or it's
Yeah.
So it's not like a thing that I can just fucking open with my hands.
If you like, you could force it.
I'm already doing that during this conversation. Then.
Taldro, I'll just open it. Stop it.
What?
What are you doing?
I thought
I'll
it was
just open
broken.
the fucking door.
You said it
He's
broke.
pushing. He's pushing. You can hear it. And then you put the tile back in, and he's trying to push, and it's going one way. And the gear just, you hear it like snap, like a metallic kind of ping as two pieces break.
Well, the whole place is on fire anyway.
Yes, we have to be quick.
You've
Here.
broken the door. Now I can't open
I
it.
take my hands off of it. Open it.
I just tried to open it, and you've just smashed it up, you bugger.
One of the back tiles falls.
I'm pulling it open again.
Yeah.
To the best of my
You
ability.
you do now. The mechanism like it's snapped, and you can feel you know, kind of like when a drawer closes like too easily, it just like just slides now. And there's enough space with one of the tiles gone. With two of them, it opens up the full stairway, the full width of the stairway here.
Mate, this secret door has been here for like hundreds of years or something. And you come in here 5 minutes and you busted it.
Yes, because it's his fault that it started closing on him.
I was just seeing how the door worked.
I like pick
Most
up
people, when they see a door,
Kale.
they try and open the door.
like a cat, put her
We
through
were
the tile
in the
like a
door
cat
already.
What was that? What was that, Brad?
I pick up Kale like a cat.
By the scruff.
Just by the scruff of her armor and just put her through the hole like a cat flap to the other side. Okay.
Yeah.
I
Kale
can fit.
comes out. Roll me a perception check. The two of you.
You are on fire.
Two of who? Sorry.
Sorry, Megan.
23.
23.
Good lord.
Right?
8.
Yeah, you both.
I hate you so much, BJ.
You definitely notice a difference. Cash, it's almost. I mean, especially because you had seen her, I think, fully in the nude when she first went into the fountain there. You can see she's much more filled out now. She has armor on, don't worry. But you see a drastic difference. And same with you, Megan, but to less of a drastic effect. But she seems more live and she comes through up into the area here above the fountain. And onto these mosaic tiles, she looks a lot more fit.
It's good to see you awake. Everything right? You kind of just cocked out.
Yes, it was rather an odd experience, but I feel much the better for it.
You look like a person.
You
Stronger.
sound like one too.
Right. And I feel stronger.
Did you happen to get any more of that water?
Well, it wasn't the water after all.
What?
I
You mean
thought
it
we
wasn't
were
the water?
looking for the fountain.
Yes, but it was my goddess Eldath.
And I
Wait,
hold
you-
the,
We've been banging around looking for a fountain, and you're like goddess. Just did it.
She is not cured.
She gave me this to make me stronger, and
You-
she told me that I am cursed. And I am not the only one cursed. It may be the whole of the Fade that is cursed, and we must cure it.
What kind of curse?
I do not know.
we
and
need to roll back when you talk to a
Goddess?
goddess. Yeah, you talk to a goddess.
I did. My goddess.
I look at Kale and I'm like, clerics.
And we must go to the Fade.
There's more curse there, though.
It is the
Well-
origin of it, she thinks.
I don't think that's the best idea, though.
Well, why? We can cure it, perhaps? And,
How?
well, I do not know, but we must. There is much suffering, as you have seen.
Are they all like you when
I do
before?
not.
We have
No.
to kill the curse
You
giver.
can't kill a curse, but
Kill
Why,
the
you
person
can
who
lift-
started the curse, the witch or something. Am I climbing through the thing? Can I get through it, by the way?
Yeah, you guys are already through.
Alright.
You're already through.
I didn't know
You're
if I was
standing
like
on
looking
these
through a
tiles.
tile,
Yeah,
but
no, no,
kale-sized tile. We will kill the cursebreaker. Or whatever the
No,
Okay,
these
Kale the
were
Cursebreaker.
quite
Drive-through window.
large tiles. Again, 2 of them opened up the full width of the staircase.
Yeah,
So
like a bathroom tile. I'm looking through it. I get it.
yeah, no,
Here's
they're much
Bradley.
larger. They're much larger than that. They're like a foot long, or maybe 2 feet long. Sorry, and then like 3 feet wide.
Right, now hang a banger, right? I don't fuck with no curses.
Well,
Okay.
You were around me, and I was cursed.
I didn't know you were cursed.
Well, did you know that there was half an army following me? You must have.
Well, kinda, but you know, people
Right,
get chased all the time
and
for
you're
perfectly
afraid of a-
innocent reasons.
Of a curse. Perhaps one witch or warlock.
Kill one person.
Well, I am not certain if it is one, but it could be. At the least, it may not be half an army.
Is there any kind of like reward?
Ah,
No.
the
I'm like walking past him, and I'm like
Shut.
I'm like pushing past him, like, you can go where you want. We have to leave here, I say to Kale, and kinda towards Kesh, I guess.
I think Kesh's mouth is still wide open. The fact that she talked to like
Yeah.
the goddess, like our goddess. Kesh was never really a big religion kind of guy. He kind of just went with the flow as far as, sure, people have the faith, but when there's actual like conversations happening, he's still just not responsive.
Mm-hmm.
We can
Yeah.
discuss this on the way. There is still a fire.
Right. Was there anything as far as like I mentioned for back when we were at I guess like the monastery and whatnot? Did they mention any parts of the woods that you were kind of like forbidden or like even had like some sort of like stigma against them? Like,
Yeah. So yes, the Western Fade, especially. Roll me a history check.
with pleasure. That's a
Uh,
4.
Ooh. I was just
Mm.
gonna say,
I slept.
like, if anyone else would be trying to remember that while talking about the Western Forest, you can roll as well here, because I figured. But if you catch just for you, you definitely know the Western Faded Woods is a little bit off limits. Like Othrandi is kind of right on the precipice of it. They kind of border the Eastern Fade, and the Northern Fade there. But you would know that the further southeast you go, or southwest you go in those woods, the stranger things start to become. There's probably a lot of like folk tales that surround Othrandi. You know, for one, there's like a hill giant city that's within close proximity, right? So kind of strange tales kind of spurred up for
What do we get for a 19?
a 19. Kale, you would know specifically the river that runs through the middle of the Faded Woods, that separates the east and the west. There's a little bit of elven lore that's kept secret, almost like close to the chest. That a like really great elven wizard sacrificed himself once to create the river, and stop a curse from spreading too much farther. And I think you would know further as well. You had heard from what was his name? Whittleston?
Wendeldorf?
Wimbledorf, thank you. Whitman Wendeldorf, that was his name. In Finbar. Wartsman, fuck. You would heard from him that there was something especially wrong in the Western Fade. The further west you go, closer to where some of the first settlers landed on that peninsula on the far west, that there are trees with red sap and blood magic and witches' covens and such. But it is pretty common knowledge among the elves that the Faded Woods are mysterious, and people have gone lost, gone missing. Entire parties of people have gone missing, and the things that come out of it, the further west you go, are strange and shouldn't be trifled with.
Wales.
I will have shared
Giant whales.
with the
No, the place, Wales.
Yeah, the place. Wales.
Walking whales.
The further into Wales you go, the weirder the creatures become.
I feel like that's Canada too, though, man. The further north you go,
No one goes up there, so no one knows.
like,
Just
there's like
wildlings.
5 people up there. You drive by. Oh, hey,
Oh,
are
White
you
walkers.
staying?
hey,
Honey, he's not staying.
wonder why.
So yeah,
They've seen in 12 years.
So I
Catch, you would know that it's off limits and very dangerous, and again, there's a lot of like folklore around it.
Gotcha.
But,
I will share what I know as we try and flee this fire, just so that the group will be aware.
yeah. So Kale, you finished sharing that there. Just for our sakes here, we'll say you guys are all still in that room. We're still imagining the little fountain in the middle there. You're all standing here outside of this entrance down to this well. As far as you can see, matter of fact, roll me perception checks. The fire hasn't spread to the monastery here, to this temple.
We see.
27.
Wow.
Natural 20.
Never mind. You guys see all. I
Your
just
turn.
see
Your
the
turn,
little.
Megan. Let's Megan roll.
It was.
I'm waiting for it.
If this is a one.
This isn't
Oh.
fair.
Oh, I'm waiting for it. Come on, give it to me.
Oh my god!
I wanted it so badly.
Oh.
We got a 22 from Kesh, a natural 27 from Kale, a natural 22 from Taldro, and a natural 1 that's a 4 from Megan.
Holy shit.
Oh,
Days like
Megan.
today. Oof.
What the fuck did you do to roll 20, PG?
Megan,
Tell us.
roll me an intelligence check real quick. Just a flat intelligence check. I'll tell you why you're so distracted right now.
Are you smarter than a 5th grader?
As you're looking about, I think maybe there's a thought that crosses your mind. That Banshee was heading somewhere when she was escaping. Maybe just crosses your mind, and that's it. For Taldro, Kale, as you two are looking out from this octagonal room, right? The flat part of the bottom is where you had come from and fought the Banshee. So looking out among these 3 exiting halls here, you can see that you can like straight up leave the temple from the back. Behind you, there's like open wall, and some of the temple here is ruined. But going back the way that you would come might take you out to the courtyard. There are other rooms in the monastery, the temple here, that you haven't explored. There's still the 2nd floor and the 3rd floor that you had seen. As you look around, you can still see some of those remnants of the kind of refugee or like war remnants. As if this was a house of healing and a house of prayer for almost too many people every single day. What are you all doing? What do you want to do?
Obviously so preoccupied. I'm gonna go check out that statue with the thing that's headed.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I did forget with the natural 20s. You can see as you look through one of those exits, the fire. There's like a little bit of open wall where it goes out to a side. Maybe the southern side of the temple. You can see the fire has spread to some of the houses in the surrounding ring around this monastery, but it isn't quite up on the kind of throwaway that goes up to the monastery yet. So it's kind of starting to engulf the beginning houses that are in this first upper larger ring of this city. So
What were the walls made of for this inner ring, by the way? Like when I was climbing over the the wall, like what would they made of? Anything?
Really thick stone.
Okay.
Yeah, really thick stone bricks that are about like 2 feet.
Okay.
Just large ones that are not necessarily like symmetrical or linear. It's kind of just a wall built out of stones and mortar. So Megan, you're going up the stairs up to the second level there.
Yeah, where
Right.
the banshee was going to.
Okay. So Megan starts to like kind of take off and like slowly trot up the stairs, looking distracted, just kind of head forward, and you see a room further in front of you. You would kind of come from the right side of the room. Going up the left stairs here, you see a room with 1 or 2 lit candles, like in the hallway that you had seen previously, and it looks relatively untouched by most of the stands of time. Essentially, it's kind of in the middle of this building, so there's not too much wear and tear. What are the 3 of you guys doing as you see Megan go up?
Leaving him here forever, hopefully.
Immediately fucking booking it after him.
They're going after him?
Here we go,
Okay.
boys.
Okay.
In a motherfucking temple in which my fucking order has inscribed shit. The fact that he was able to read the riddle, yeah, no, I'm booking it. He's mine.
Okay. Taldro, Kale, you 2 were looking for a way out, correct?
Oh yeah,
Okay,
Fire.
so
fire
let's-
bad.
yeah, let's assume you guys are wandering the halls then. Are you going in any which direction? You've got 3 exits left in front of you. Yeah,
Or one we know the way back of. Or...
So there's one straight in front of you where you saw
Yeah.
the fire.
Okay.
That's the one that you would kind of come through from the Banshee fight, and there's 2 other ones that you haven't explored or gone down. As you look down both of those, you can see one's a clear shot into what seems to be a similarly open room, almost like this temple has 4, northwest, northeast, south, east, and southwest rooms. And then all of the other main rooms are kind of in the middle, intermingled. So you can see another like similar open room to your left, but kind of in front of you, closer into the middle of the temple, there seems to be a passageway that leads to an intersection. And at the far end of the intersection, you can see like a soft kind of blue light in a small dark room. I think you could assume that's the southeastern room of the temple. So where are you guys wandering?
Following Kale. I don't do this seeing.
Probably take the one with the blue light and the crossroads. Yeah. So I guess that's
Okay.
the middle one you said.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so as you, just gonna put this back to our beautiful burning city again. I like how you wrote party TPK. Thank you so much.
That's
Mhm.
probably about where we'll get to before we die.
Yep.
We'll have to see.
Trip and fall down the stairs.
Yeah, it won't be the fire.
Nope. It'll be our own demise.
Sorry.
Besides the fire.
Okay, so yeah, as you're all walking down, you, Cash, you start to like follow Megan. We get that scene of like you're looking up at him, and he just passes through into the hallway, quickly run up the stairs, and maybe break into a jog to go follow him. Taldro and Kale, you guys go almost under them in the same direction, but on the first floor. As you're walking through, Taldro and Kale, you start to pass into those crossroads. As you come in, it just looks like a domed room. There are 4 large statues in here that all seem to look down at the middle. They all have small, what look to be like plaques, or where a plaque once was. It looks like 2 have maybe been taken off by force. 1 remains, and there's one that's kind of like fallen off onto the floor. As you stand here, you can see that you are in the middle of the temple. From one direction, you can see the room that you could assume the Banshee fight had taken into, the room that you just left with the fountain. And as you look at this like blue room, it just looks like from here down the hallway, it looks like a waiting room. Continue down the hallway here. As you're walking through, the tunnel seems to, or the hallway here seems to get a little closer, a little more claustrophobic. And little shorter on top. Taldra's got to like duck a tiny bit. But as you come out to this room, you see the soft blue light is from a couple of baskets that are hanging with blue crystals. They give off that soft kind of emanating light. That there's like three little baskets in the room that seem to just kind of blow gently with the breeze, but also just kind of carry a consistent light throughout the room. There's 4 benches at either corner and a small basin in the middle that seems to have dried up. It's about like 10 feet across on either side, maybe 15 feet across, on either side. And I think it just looks like maybe a room for like quiet thought, prayer, or just sitting, waiting. What do you guys want to do?
No exit here.
There are 2 exits to another hallway that would go and lead you over to the room with the banshee fight, and another one to the northeastern room of the temple. Kind of.
There's the exit, and I wish the others were with us, but Megan sounded like he did not want to help, but we cannot leave Kirk. What should we do, Taldro?
I think, we look down this way and point
Alright.
at the room the hall that we haven't gone down yet.
Yeah. Okay. As you go to like turn, I think you make it to that doorway. You can feel a slight breeze like pass across one of the exposed cuts, maybe on your neck, from inside the room.
Did you feel that?
Like,
This place is old. There is probably lots of holes and things.
It was a pretty strong draft. All right.
And we'll probably continue on.
okay.
It's an invisible stalker.
Roll me a survival check real quick, Taldro, to determine if it's an invisible stalker.
I don't think I would even know. 10.
I think you can tell it's like a soft draft coming in from a hole somewhere. It's not like a ghost. It's a pretty constant draft that seems to come
So
from
it's
the
not like
room.
somebody passed us and created a
Yeah,
draft.
it's not like someone like brushed your. No, it's
Okay.
like as you're going, it's like, you know, when you walk in front of a fan, and you can just you feel like maybe it stops you in the doorway and makes you think for a second.
Yeah, if it felt like that, I would try to investigate the source because that could be a way out.
Okay. Roll me investigation checks to find the invisible stalker that's in the room here with you guys.
Okay, but only if it's not scary. 7.
As long as it's not scary.
13.
Okay. How are you? How do you guys think you're looking around the room here? What are you doing?
Probably just
Sticking my
feel
finger.
the air in the direction.
Yeah. Okay.
The air is coming from.
You just point. There's like you like point. You find you can feel it a little stronger, and you point right as I think maybe Kale is like pushing along the wall, and Kale you. And there's a small like stone impress that pushes it in, and as you push that in, you can hear a mechanism start.
Oh, it's another door. Do you hear that? Do you see it?
I hear the mechanism. Is there a door
So
opening
again-
up?
Yeah. So again, the floor in the kind of the top of the room here, right in front of the basin, starts to open up. You can hear the stone underneath or on top of the mechanism start to, and it opens up to about a 5x5 rectangular hole, or sorry, square hole, that opens up in this room to stone stairways that seem to go down.
Would be a way out.
Does it feel drafty from
Yeah,
here?
as
Like
soon as
there's.
as soon as it starts to open up, you can hear like a gentle starting to. It's a stale breeze, but at the same time, it's fresh, like almost like a fresh breeze being brought through very old corridor. And then swap over to Megan. Megan and Kesh. As you're kind of walking up these stairs here, Megan, you come to a room that looks a little like this. Kind of looks like your average like lounge area here. It seems like this was once used for either parties in the monastery here, maybe meetings, maybe it's some kind of higher level like administration room. You can see a small bath off in the corner. There are a couple of bookshelves with odd squared drawers in them that seem to like hold things inside. And one of the bookshelves looks like somewhat intact, and the other one seems to have some of its drawers taken out. I think that in the bottom left of this image here, there's a small staircase. It seems to wrap up in a circular fashion that comes up into the room, and we find you like walking through an entrance where that staircase is just to your left. So this is kind of your perspective here as you're looking about the room. Give me a rough idea of what you'd like to look for in the room.
Well, first of all, every time I go and have some fun, there is
You
a
burn down a city.
monumental prick chasing after me every step of the way. So I'm gonna have a little listen to see if that prick has followed me again.
Yeah, I think there's a moment here where you're like just waiting. Like you walk into the room, you take it in for a moment, and then you hear the.
Oh,
Unless, are you trying to be stealthy, or are you just?
no, I would definitely be calling out for him. Megan?
Yeah, so you just hear his like feet and applauding behind a minute later.
Megan, where are you?
Okay, so as I hear him getting closer and he's talking.
Yeah.
I'm gonna quickly scan the room.
Okay.
And I see one of those dividers ahead of me next to the bath.
Yeah.
I'm gonna grab something off the table that will roll and just toss it down the stairs, and then sneakily run and hide behind the divider.
Okay. There's like a small maybe like pewter urn that's just kind of knocked over. It seems like the handles maybe snapped off. Doesn't look valuable. You kind of just like casually, it's on the table right next to that little staircase there. So you casually just walk by and boom, knock it down. It starts to ting, 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 kind of echo throughout the monastery and down through the stairways. It comes back up and into the room and reverberates throughout. You quickly run across into the or behind the divider. Roll me a stealth check with advantage.
With advantage.
Two ones.
You I think like you hear that and you start to gravitate towards this room. Maybe there was a large foyer with some like arched pillars on either side of 4 exits, and you're just kind of waiting there for a moment, calling his name, trying to find out where he had gone, and then you hear this ting, 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 kind of walking over to that room there. A 25. Give me a perception check if you'd like to, Kesh.
I would.
You're looking for Megan?
I heard sound. I follow Megan.
Yeah.
It's what I do with the 22.
Yeah. As you look around, you can see the room. You see the same thing I described. Quite a nice room, which looks to have been used by people higher up in the administration of the temple here.
Guessing dusty and still kind of left to its own ruin, or
very dusty, but also missing pieces and things. I think like as you're maybe walking down the stairs, it probably looks like an interesting room. There are plenty of scrolls, books, and like kind of the Game of Thrones like libraries where they have the chained some of the locked books. They have one of the areas in the back has like small metal crates that seemed like to have been opened a long time ago, but there are a couple of like books in the back there. But as you walk down the stairs here, You come out to another, like to one part in the crossroads here. I think there's a small hallway here, right next to where, like, this is the small hallway right next to where Kale and Taldro are.
Mm-hmm.
So you begin to walk down, and Kale and Taldro, you can hear this ting 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 come down the stairs, and this like pewter urn just like comes out of the stairway down the hallway that you would almost walk down. And then Cash, a couple moments later, kind of comes out, looking left and right. You look left, nothing. As you look right, you can see Taldro and Kale just kind of like staring
We're
at you.
going down these stairs. And then I go down the stairs.
Yeah. Now they know.
Did you drop this?
No.
Hey,
Oh. As I go down the stairs. I'm gone.
Megan, roll me an investigation check real quick as you're looking around the room.
Yeah, now I've got rid of the busybody. 12.
A 12. Okay, so as you're looking around the room here, looks like this place has been plucked clean. Not by a professional or anything. Just looks like someone's come through here in a hurry and taken anything shiny, valuable looking. As you like look across, there's a couple of drawers that haven't been looted in like some of the desks.
As I walk up to the desk, I want to look around the room for this place has got like secret doors and stuff. I want to look if there's anything that just seems slightly out of place. It doesn't make any sort of sense. Maybe it's hiding something or.
Okay. Yeah. As you start to look around, keeping your 12 here, I think you start to walk into like this little back addition to the room. It's just 3 walls, and the 4th is the open and coming back into the room here. There are these gates on either side that look like they had been once closed and locked. And in this room are 3 small bookshelves just that take up the entirety of each of the walls. And they just seem to have like old frayed books. Some of them are somewhat intact, and others seem like utterly ruined. The like chains or locks on them, or some of them don't have like the steel padding or whatever they had used in between books or in between the pages to keep them protected. So it looks like they're just starting to like goop and fall apart. As you're in there, you can hear Cash. Are you coming back upstairs? I assume.
yeah.
Yeah.
If put 2 and 2 together, just
Yeah. Cash, you hear Cash starting to come back up.
I'm gonna carry on looking. It's fine.
Yeah.
I think it was at this point it's mostly just fucking with Cash.
Yeah. I love it. Yeah. So you come up, Cash, and I think you hear like maybe like him elbow the grate on the back of the books, or on the door to the books there for a moment. As you come up in here, you can see Megan just kind of rummaging through things.
why is it that you always have to find something? Always have to try and find something. Can't just leave it.
We're in like a monastery with secret doors and
A
passages.
holy place, yes. That's
Right.
mm-hmm.
Are you a fucking cleric?
No, I'm still
Well
a
then,
believer. I'm
Look
You-
as well. Look, this place has been fucking rinsed.
doesn't mean you have to add to it.
Well, look,
This place is
it hasn't even been done by a professional. That's not very respectful now, is it?
to be honest, would you consider yourself a professional?
Yes. I mean, never mind.
What are you looking at anyway?
I know some books here. There's something weird about them.
That's weird. They're books.
I don't know. I'm gonna do that thing they do in like old Poirot movies and like move a book.
It doesn't seem to do anything. Like as you pull the one, it just like it gives way. The weight of the spine is too much, and it just falls open. One of the pages scatter open.
Are there any panels? Can I? I'm in full Poirot mode now. I want to like knock panels.
Knocking on things. the both of you are trying to do stuff too.
I'm watching him do stuff, and I'm trying to like figure out what the hell he's doing.
Roll me another investigation check. If you want to just like give a casual look around the room, Cash. If you're not looking for anything, you can roll me a perception check.
It's God fucking damn it, peachy piece of shit.
Natural 24.
I'm watching him. That's it.
Okay.
You watch me just pull pure gold out of the walls.
Yeah, you start pulling a couple books off. They none of them seem to do anything in this little corridor of the room here. I think you kind of realize immediately there's nothing here. As you walk out though, there's one of the bookcases, the one that hasn't been or that has been disturbed. There's you can see like from this angle as you come out of the room, there's a crack that it like rests a little forward from the wall, and you can see there's some kind of dark space.
Megan, we really need to go. Remember, city's on fire. Apparently, the other two found a passage, but leaving.
Just one more thing, and I'm gonna walk up to the bookcase. Okay, this is gonna make me look like an idiot, but I'm just gonna look at Kesh and go professional, and I'm gonna push the bookcase.
You're gonna push it. Okay. Yeah. As you push, it's a little hard. It's a little hard to move it, but it
Professional.
gives way a little bit. Finally, and it kind of towers over. I don't think it moves. I think it just kind of towers over. And as it towers over, Cash, you can see what's revealed is. I feel like you're kind of looking straight at it, and it just and there's a small like kind of sliver of space that you can look through. As your head pops in there, Megan, it's a lot of loot. There seems to be paintings, small gold coins, silver coins, copper coins. There seems to be gems strewn about, necklace, jewelry, and other pieces of like valuable temple or a monastery furnishings. Or you have like there's a candelabra that like the top has just been snapped off because it's been made of silver. The candles have been snapped out. And there's a small set of bones inside of there. You heading in, or
Cash? There is always a reward. Yeah, and I'm gonna go in.
You know you're not going to touch that.
Okay.
What?
Okay. Yeah. As you walk in, you find a hoard of loot here, a little treasure trove. I will post one in the. I'll post them one by one in the chat here. There's a couple of small sacks that have coins like spilling out of them. The sacks have like claw marks inside of them. As you look around, there are cups and different bowls that are full of money and different currencies. There's 1,900 copper pieces. 1,100 silver pieces. As you look in a small bowl, there's 100 gold pieces kind of nestled on a little, like, this is like a hoarder's den here. There are small things that are not necessarily valuable, but are shiny or endearing. You don't notice a single mirror in here. All of the mirrors in the monastery have been left in their place, no matter how beautiful they are. But there are a couple of small, beautiful paintings that you could carry within your hands. There's also a large, 10-foot tall painting. That's 5 feet across. That looks like a man with like frills, all abound, nice armor, a rapier, and he's kind of like hanging he's kind of pointing it down onto a rock while he's got his foot up. It seems like it's been frayed and kind of eaten away by the sands of time here, but it looks like in relatively better condition than any other thing.
And there's bones as well, you said.
Does it look like a den of somebody that would be, I guess, living in the monastery, as far as I guess, one with the gods and whatnot, or is it more of just a treasure trove of someone that wants to keep his shit safe, basically, instead of I'm trying to think of how to word this actually.
Yeah, no. I think
greedy sumbitch versus non-greedy sumbitch.
Yeah, I think as you look down at the bones, you can see they're not clutching any of the gold. But roll me a nature check real quick.
Sure.
As you think about it, maybe in your studies.
9.
9. I think you'd know that there are creatures out there that covet shiny objects and valuable things. But as far as you look down at the body, it seems like a feminine form, and seems to be curled away from the gold, maybe near the exit. But you also find a gem, or a couple of gems, a citron, sardonyx, 2 sardonyx gems, a star rose quartz, and these gems just seem to be like kind of displayed throughout the abode here in like a very, very pretty way. Zircon, and there is a large scroll that seems to have been like unfurled and placed where, like there would be a prayer book normally, seems to have been like hung over that. You can see arcane writings on it.
Nikesh, is this one of your what's a nice way to say it? God botherers?
You mean worshipper? Devotee?
I mean, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Nice way of saying it.
That was the nice way.
Not sure. The skeleton, is it? What are they? I guess what are they wearing and whatnot? I know they're turned away from the gold and whatnot. Are there claw marks on the walls? Does it almost see like they were a prisoner of some sort?
No, I think as you look it over, you can see it seems like a woman's clothing, like tattered, small dress, maybe the size of like a teenager, or like a young adult. As you look at the room here, it's like a small hallway that leads into a square, and the bookcase seems to be the only door that's blocking the entrance here. So I think you could assume that somebody might not be able to be trapped in here. They could just push over the bookcase.
Gotcha. As far as any like holy symbols, any like necklaces or anything, or is it just just the garb? Okay.
No necklace. I think there are no holy symbols in here, in the slightest. There are pretty necklaces and jewels on some of them. I'll add in 5 times necklaces. 2x have rubies on them, and 1 is an onyx necklace, and 1 is a sapphire. And they're all like a relatively same design, but they have the gem kind of in the middle.
I'm so happy.
Hey.
I'm looking at the scroll and I go, what about this bloke here then?
Glancing over the scroll, does it look even remotely familiar, or is it even would it be considered holy or divine?
Roll me an Arcana check.
Sure. 20.
Oh, it is it's a divination spell. It is a spell scroll of Rary's telepathic bond. I don't know if you'd know the spell like specifically, but you would maybe recognize the writings and some of the symbols, and know maybe what it calls to. Know that it's a divination spell. It's a pretty high level divination spell as well.
And it's definitely divine, but I have no idea what the hell it is.
Named spells, especially like that, they've been like, those are spells that have been invented by somebody.
Gotcha.
So that name would probably carry a little bit of weight, like throughout the world, as maybe somebody that has made a couple of divination spells, or
Mary's telepathic bond.
Telepathic bond?
So somebody knows what it is, but
I know nothing about spells, so this nothing to me.
It's way over my head, but
Telepathic's like talking in your head, isn't it?
Regardless, we need to move now. Regardless of all this,
I'm gonna roll up the scroll.
Yeah, and quickly.
I take a quick look at this beautiful 10-foot fucking tall picture.
You are not going to. No. Just leave it. We need to go. This place.
Pretty nice.
I don't know what this place is.
Look, the
Don't care.
artist
We. Hey, up.
What's that?
Up. I glance at the building, or not the building, but the painting real quick. Does that even look remotely like somebody we might know, like someone historical in some sort? Not Hefe.
Roll me a history check, actually.
Sure.
You
17.
17. Sorry, give me a sec. You would recognize this as a man named Felicity Newden. A man that you knew at the at your academy, essentially, where you had trained, and he had also frequented your liege's house.
So this is a recent, like.
It's not a recent painting, however.
Okay.
You've seen and met this man before. It's a slim elven face. He looks a little different in the picture here, but I think he's got like a prominent, like very prominent cheekbones, and maybe very piercing eyes that you can't quite forget. Maybe you haven't spent too much time with him. Maybe just met him in passing, but you recognize him.
What?
I know him.
You know him?
Yes.
His picture's like... It's old, right, this picture?
Yeah, it's real old.
How can you know him? This picture's like... old!
How do you think I am?
What do you mean, how do I think you are?
Keep forgetting. Where?
What are you on about, man?
You're still a child to an elf. Remember that. You're still a child.
I'm not a child, but... Well, how old are you? Because he looks like 12, doesn't he? Because all elves look 12. How old are you then?
Old. Just say old.
Like 14?
Yes, I'm 14.
That's not old, but... Fucking dickhead.
We're moving now.
How can
As you're having conversation, you can hear a large, I think closer than before. There's been a couple of pops and booms as like large pieces of debris have crashed down. You hear a that sounds like it was kind of on the thoroughway up to the monastery. Just
that's our cue.
Natural sense of direction.
That's our cue. We need it. Yeah. There.
You're gonna tell me how you know this person.
Later. For now, move. Okay.
All right.
I'm still glancing at the painting. Like, what the fuck is that doing here?
Do like a double take.
Right.
Yeah. I
finished stuff from my pockets. Pretty much the only thing I didn't take was all the copper pieces.
Okay. So you leave a I'd say there's probably like a good amount still kind of left in there. So take like 200 just for accuracy's sake, because you wouldn't be able to like. That's the one thing we'll be accurate about.
I took a lot of fucking silver.
So you two start to pick up. You just like kind of grab everything, maybe put all the sacks together, and as you're running out, you're like putting it in your backpack. Kesh, do you lead him down to where Taldro and Kel were?
Yeah, I'm leading the way as he's packing up.
I have a spring in my step for some unknown reason.
Yeah. Okay, so Taldro and Kel, you wouldn't have waited, yeah?
Oh, no.
I've blocked the passage
There's
off behind
fire.
me.
Have you?
No. But only because it would have wasted time.
Thanks.
So you two start to run. You kind of run into this room here that Kesh starts to lead you into, Megan, and you both see this kind of 5x5 hole that seems to lead down the stair passage. Maybe there's a chunk out of it. Who knows? Maybe Taldro tried. As you two start to and go down. You immediately, Megan, realize that you're not going to be able to see down here. As you start to kind of run down, you can smell this kind of like dank, old smell, as if this area just hasn't been opened in a long time and the air hasn't really aired it out. But you can feel a light breeze as you start to pass down. Seems to almost be like at face height, just constantly, or not constantly, like every once in a while it'll brush across your face. What are your guys like speed? What is your speed like here? Are you starting to run?
I'm probably at a good jog, faster than I usually would chase after Megan, but this is actual, like, not frantic, but still good pace.
Yeah.
Ching,
Okay.
Ching, 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 ching. Big smile.
Okay. Is this the? All right. Cool. So you guys start to run. You start to run down this hallway here. As you're passing through, it's like there's a lot of zigzags. You can see there's like natural formations that you have to kind of like dodge by. It seems like someone has just started to dig and has like just spent a long time carving out the bottom section of this whole tunnel, but maybe left some of the top parts clear. So it's not a fully formed man-made tunnel, but it just continues down. As you run down, what kind of pace are you guys going at here? Taldro and Kale, sorry.
Oh, it's a brisk walk
Okay.
Brisk walk.
for me.
Yeah. So there's I think after about like maybe about like 5 minutes after you two go down, there's a little time passes as you get further in here. Megan, do you light a torch at all, or?
I'll be using the goggles, I think.
Okay, yeah. Oh, fuck, sorry, I always forget about those. I have no idea why. So yeah, you kind of strap those on, and you two start to push forward. You kind of hear the pitter patter of their feet, maybe them arguing still about the painting, or Megan asking him how he knows something. You kind of hear their voices carrying throughout the corridor here as you're walking down. It's been a pretty lonely walk so far here. As you've been walking through, it's been cramped and not necessarily claustrophobic, but cramped and just lonely. You're forever seeming like you're going down. From far away, this city was really tall. It was kind of nestled up here on a rock mountain. As you catch up, we swap scenes for a moment. Back to the front of the city, as we see the orcs. Let me remove my painting there. We see the orcs that start to come through the valley and walk towards the city. Oh my goodness, please give me that one. There we go. And we catch a glimpse of a small gnome exiting the burning ruins of this city now here. At the beginning of it, where you'd first gone in, the entire city has been engulfed now. And you can see the orcs as they all come into the valley. Get like a shot of their faces. They all seem shocked and surprised, and their faces kind of twist in anger. Barnaby, our young gnomish friend, ducks out to the side, and if there's a little scoot over, and Ugdumph sits there, kind of on his knees, staring up at the city. As a couple of pieces kind of jettison more debris into the fields, and they crash into the snow, and they make a sizzling sound as they hit, and see our little gnomish friend duck off to the side. As we switch back to you, you four, as you all hear Cash and Megan catch up immediately after this. You hear the and I think they've finally caught up, a little bit out of breath as they start to maybe slow down as they come up behind them. You can see their figures up ahead of you, the two of you.
Question: that picture, was it hundreds of years old or like
Millions and thousands.
thousands?
Millions
No, that
and
picture was like thousands
thousands.
of years old, but
Thousands of years old? Did you see it's all 4 pixels? Oh, sorry. I thought you were making a joke. I didn't know you were role playing.
I was
Did you
trying
hear
to role play. I'll just meme
voice
from now on.
talking about-
Sorry.
God.
Do you hear paintings? No, I don't. No, it's not millions of years old.
It is,
It's not.
and I said thousands. But do you see how old that was? No
You-
one's been in that place for hundreds of years.
Oh, hundreds. Mm-hmm.
Hundreds.
That's why the orc was right outside and preparing a ritual and
In that room,
so easy to get it to.
in that room where all the good stuff was, there's about 20 gold coins.
20.
No one's been in there for ages, and it looked like that picture was.
How
being-
much jingling do I hear from him? Just at any pace that he's at. Just
Yeah, it's exaggerated. With every exaggerated like arm, you hear like a. He sounds like a bag of coins walking behind all of you. And I think Taldro and Kale, you guys would notice that too. It's like he sounds exceptionally heavier in his step.
Did you find some armor?
No armor. Oh, I found this though. I'm gonna hand you this big, giant bow.
I don't like these much, but thank you for this, I suppose.
Oh, and actually,
Hook it over myself.
I'm gonna pull out that scroll. I look at Taldro, and then then I hand it to Kale.
I'm gonna grab Megan by the top of the head, just twist him round a little bit, and then take like 5 arrows out of his quiver.
Fucking ask, but
This is what you do, is it not? Thank you for teaching me.
no, you just.
Thank you. What
He's not hard to
I mean-
steal.
is this?
I'm enjoying this a lot, actually. This
It's
is
just a normal longbow, right?
As far as you can tell, yes.
Right, okay. I would not inspect it, I'll just put it on my back.
Yeah.
It's some telepathetic scroll. What was that? Kale?
What?
Cash?
I'm sorry. Did you say telepathetic?
Yeah, something like that, wasn't it?
Let's go with that one. You know, it's telepathic. I don't know as far as what it can do, but it looks rather powerful.
Right.
Would I be able to tell if I investigate?
It belonged to someone called Rory.
Yeah. If you take time and read it, by the way, Cash and Kale here, you can know what the spell does. I just assumed you were in a hurry and just trying to look over it. Yes. 1 second. I will post
Yeah,
it.
actually, if it takes actual time of us standing here, I wouldn't do it right then.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
that
no, it's one of those things.
dark cave.
roll me an Arcana check here as you're looking over it.
4.
Okay. As you're looking over it, I mean, you can make quick sense of it. It essentially, you form a telepathic bond with others.
Gotcha.
That's like the gist that
The
you can
gist
get.
of it.
Yeah.
Sure.
If Catch were to read it, he might be able to discern a little bit more of it or the spell specifics. But you can tell it's a divination spell as well. I think you would recognize the name on it as well and know that it's a kind of a big thing to have a wizard's scroll. So quite valuable, but also quite powerful.
I'm still shuffling along. or
Yeah,
not
you're walking
shuffling.
along.
Yeah,
Okay.
we're just
I'm
pushing
Yeah.
right through.
So, what's the marching order here like? I'm assuming Taldro in front as usual, but
I would
Yeah.
think so, yeah.
okay. So is it like Taldro, Kale, Megan, or Taldro, Kale, Kesh, Megan?
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
About right.
Okay.
I'm constantly just like poking at Kesh, like asking questions.
Never good when the DM
Well, what
asks
was his
that,
name then,
boys.
if you knew
Never
him?
good.
Listen, he has a big painting of him. He's known. It's
Thousands of years old painting.
not
of
a
him, yeah.
thousands, not thousands.
That was thousands, but
Did it actually look thousands? Did it? It probably just looked.
Roll me a
Dusty.
history check.
I would love to. I just want to see if his perception, or not perception, but his take on time is. Fucked.
Yeah, I think through most of what you've learned here and what was revealed the last session there with the building of the temple being on that mosaic, and you could gather kind of the age of the place. Say it's about like 1,200 to 1,500 years old is like the first thought that comes to your mind.
Mhm.
Just for you, the man that you would recognize, you would probably like recognize him best as a kind of a liaison between some of the higher families in Othrandi, and I think he at one point when he had come to your academy and maybe been there for about a year or two, he had been kind of this like shadowy figure that had always been outside of your reach somewhat, as if you were to go and have a talk with your master, and he would have to exit the room from the other way when you came in. It's kind of a hushed voice thing, and you never hear what they were talking about. Maybe always get the assumption that he's a dangerous man, but he looks very charismatic and looks well to be. But yeah, the painting about a 1,200, 1,500 years old.
So,
elves don't get
Hmm?
that old, right?
yeah, no, elves aren't that old.
No. You would know that. Like, there's probably been a couple throughout history that have lived that long through other means, but like your average elf probably wouldn't live that long and still look like that.
If, as far as the painting like being that old,
Yeah.
and him still not looking that old when I saw him, I'm not saying shit about that. It's probably what, 100, 200 years old, max.
Thousands, easy 1,000, more, probably more.
How much art have you looked at?
Quite
How much
a bit,
have you
actually.
stolen? How much have you sold?
I mean, the odd piece here and there.
In a holy place like that
I'm
too?
a connoisseur, but
Connoisseur. I
Look,
just want to go.
look,
I want to
I like-
sweep his leg real
This-
quick. Like when you're like walking behind somebody, you can kind of just like kick the back of their side of the leg
Yeah.
and kind of have them trip.
Just wanna,
I'm gonna go ahead and swipe the leg.
give me
the
a
leg.
Give me a quick dex save, Megan. As you guys have been progressing throughout this as well, it seems to be kind of a like ever-lasting set of staircases here. It's probably 14. Okay, yeah, I think you hear the slide of it and you quickly like hop over it. But it's probably quite lonely down here as well, with these two yapping in the background, just kind of echoing throughout this tunnel constantly. But yeah, you hear the slide of his foot and you just quickly jump over it, I think.
What are you trying to do, Butts?
And this continues on, I think, for quite a while. There's probably a moment, Taldro, where like as you're getting further and further into down into these tunnels here, they start to become a little more widened. Maybe like a little more care has been put into them. You can see the bottom, the stone steps are a little more sharply carved, almost like from the middle someone had just kind of gotten the job done. But at the very top and very bottom here, they've paid very close attention. You can tell you're getting close to the bottom. There's a small like sliver of light as you come around the corner of another stairway. And these just infinite steps that have been going down and corners and left and rights. And as you finally turn this corner, you can see a longer set of steps now that open up to about like a 10-foot wide cavern at the end of it, kind of narrow, and then slowly gets out like a cone. And there's a small metal grate with a brisk wind that seems to be blowing in. A little bit of snow has come into the cavern, and you can see an icy lake on the other side of it. You all see this as you kind of turn this corner as well. After, I'd say probably about 45 minutes to like an hour of walking. That's how long it took to get down.
Oh, we've been walking for ages.
That's a good thing. We are probably underneath the fire.
Yeah, do we feel or hear any echoes of like residual booms?
Roll me perception checks here. I think like maybe you would have heard them like as you were coming down in the temple.
That's a nat 1.
Damn.
How does it feel, Zop?
I think
Tasty. For something like this.
I got a 17 from Megan, 25 from Kale, 11 from Taldro, and a nat 1 from Cash. Kale, I think you hear in the distance a very faint, but it's a percussive, just as if like a large thing had fallen or started to cascade or something. Maybe then like followed thereafter, like 5 seconds after, there's a little bit of like dirt from the ceiling or some dust and rocks that unsettle and kind of rain down on all of you.
It matters not. Once we find a way out of here, we will probably be somewhere that we need to go. So, is that a lake? Is that a lake under here?
The lake?
You said it was an icy lake, right?
Yeah, as you kind of come to the, I'm assuming the grate here. Again, this room kind of is a conal shape, and it goes out to about 10 feet wide. So as you all kind of fill the space here and look through this grate, you can see some water. Maybe at some point it washed up. There is a little bit of an incline, and it's kind of washed up and frozen. But it looks like this grate just comes straight out onto the lake. If you look at the map, you are essentially right here. If you open it, and there is a small lock on it, but if you were to open it, even getting your face close, you can see out, and you see the mountain range that you would once seen as you came in from the opposite side of this canyon. But the lake is completely frozen over, as you see.
That's a lake.
Oh.
Bloody hell! Would you freeze an entire lake?
Well, better question is, how do we break that lock?
How do we open a locked door? Just looking right at Megan.
Oh, you want help from a professional now, do you?
I hit the lock.
No.
I
He said, "You want help from a a very brittle lock." Yeah. As you hit the lock,
You die.
I need you guys to make wisdom saves. Real quick.
Oh God, you do die.
I'm so sorry.
That's okay.
Because as you hit the lock, it crashes down into the floor. But
Oh my God, I die.
you see a bright
Natural
flash, almost as if the morning sun had been put directly in your face, centered on where that lock was. There's a small like blue flare, and then immediately a kind of divine like white or radiant light that blinds you. 3 of you have the good nature, as you see it, to close your eyes. Taldro has his eyes open, and you get the full effect. You're blinded for the next minute. You have the blinded condition.
Breaching
For the
clear.
next minute. As you smash this off, and then suddenly there's a bright light, Taldro, and your retinas, your eyes inside, you want to scratch them. They feel hot, burning. The sound of it going off is like a as well.
No, Megan. I don't want a professional to do it.
You want that to happen each time.
I cannot see anything.
Is the lock on the floor, or is it like broken?
It's
Okay,
on,
good.
It's on the floor, broken. You could probably assume it's a trap put on the door.
To be honest, I'm okay with that.
Caldra, I think that lock was trapped, but
Are you hurt?
My eyes, I cannot see.
You cannot see.
No.
It was bespelled. The lock.
It was a bright light. Did you close your eyes?
No. I looked like straight at it.
Here, have a seat.
I'm gonna try and push
Yeah.
him to sit
have a
down.
look at the lock.
gently.
Can I sit on Megan?
Down.
Oh,
Sit on
Yeah.
Megan.
He like stumbles back, hits him in the legs, knocks him over a little bit. Tells you sit down. Yeah, it feels hot. It feels itchy. And then if you open, it's just like the sun. It's just white.
I cannot see anything.
It's all right. It's probably just a temporary spell.
is it a curse? Have a look at that lock there.
Oh,
What's up with you and curses?
Look, curses are bad, all right?
Kill.
I know a guy who
You
knows a
can
guy.
remove
and he had a
curses.
curse.
You were pissing your
Uh,
pants up there when we talk about curses.
not
You like curses? You want a curse?
can't.
No, it's just.
Exactly.
Are you cursed?
Can try to heal it
Like officially.
if you are not wounded. I do not know that it will help.
Can you remove blind?
Just stay calm. Perhaps count a bit,
Okay.
and we'll have a look at the lock.
And I'm gonna go over and take a look at it.
Okay.
Been a minute
give
yet.
me. Give me. I was gonna say, give me an investigation or an Arcana check. And as Kale starts to leave Taldra, like you slowly open your eyes, like you've woken up for the first time in the morning, a little hungover, and they hurt. You can see bright lights, purples and yellows and other colors that kind of float around the edges of your eyesight, but you can see very dimly.
So basically, he's looked at
21.
his phone when he's just woken up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
21 investigation.
As you look over the lock, you can see that somewhere on the bottom of it there's a little bit of a warding inscription.
Aha! Just here. Well, you probably can't see it, but there is an inscription. Some words of some type, and it should clear up.
And I look like I'm trying to feel.
I'm like
confident.
wandering as if I'm still blind towards Megan. And I.
Oh, you should not
Ah,
be standing if you cannot.
Moving, but
okay. I grab Megan round the throat. I will use this as a walking stick. I just pick him up and down, like as if I'm like
That is-
swinging a stick.
You trying to stop this?
That's Megan.
Oh no.
It's not a stick.
He's a stick, yes.
It's a stick.
It feels like a
Oh,
little.
it's got a bug on it. Wipe it off. It's got a
Okay,
bug.
slap his
It get-
ass. Pick him up and slap his ass. It feels, he's not strong enough. I snapped his twig, yes. I lift him up.
Oh,
And then I just look him in the face. What did you take from the church? I put him down hard.
Slams down.
You are jingling.
Sometimes I just love karma.
And then I turn to Kale. Can we go through? I can see now. It's okay.
Oh, it's all better. Yes, let's go. Although Megan seems to have been sick.
I'll take care of him. You two make sure that we're good and clear.
Yeah, I'll like open the door and take a little peek out, creep out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be peeking
I'll
around. as well.
help up Megan, but kind of chuckle the whole entire
Yeah.
time. Just
you're enjoying this, aren't you?
you. What? No, if I would like to. Yes, I did.
Well, when you gonna tell them that you know 1,000-year-old man is in a picture?
It's not 1,000 years old.
Easy 1,000 years, but
How's your throat?
not
Go ahead.
fucking good.
No.
That was it. Let's just go.
Continues on yet again. As they start to walk out. You, Taldro and Kale, you walk out. You hear your feet kind of crunch under the ice and the snow a little bit. As you take a couple of steps out, you come onto what seems to be full ice sheets. And as you look across this lake, it seems to stretch for quite a long while. Roll me perception checks as you're kind of coming out of this little cave here.
5.
Okay. As you're looking down at the ice, it seems thick enough to hold you. You can kind of assume that you're on the shore, and you are pretty close to the actual shore that you had traveled up to get here in the first place. You can see the valley here is a little smoky, as some of it has started to settle, and some of the hills have caught fire in small areas. There's one portion of the lake off to the far west that's like slowly just burning a little bit from what looks to be like a piece of debris that's flown off of the burning city above you. Kesh and Megan, you see in the far distance, I think your eyes maybe naturally go to the valley that you would first come from, and you can see the orcs. It's gotten a little darker now, so their torches have kind of like outlined a little bit on the landscape, and you can see a couple of figures that are now marching down this shore, and start like looking like they're in full sprint, running towards their city that they had intended to move in and take over. As you look across the lake, there seems to be a small cave at the opposite end of the lake, a little close to where that fire had started on the lake. But there seems to be a cave that's just a little bit blinded by this blizzard that's happening in the further reaches of the canyon. What are you guys doing, and what else are you guys looking for?
Kesh, does that look like an army of angry orcs sprinting?
Considering that they wanted to move into the city that you destroyed.
I didn't destroy it.
They are going to be pretty pissed with you.
There's a cave. There's a cave over there.
Great. What would you want us to do with the cave?
Hide in a fucking cave from angry orcs.
We don't need to hide. You did it.
I didn't do it.
Pretty sure you dropping a vial would have definitely did it.
I deftly handed a vial. All right.
Handed
Yes.
to the ground.
No.
Not think you handed it to me. It looked rather tossed.
I didn't toss it.
You need to stop tossing.
I wasn't tossing.
Pretty sure he was tossing.
I'm not a tosser.
You are a tosser.
I am not a tosser.
They think you're a tosser. They're
I
probably
gently
going to
dropped it.
eat you.
To Kale.
You were a tosser that time.
I didn't toss it.
Not a good tosser, Eva. You're a shit tosser.
Even if I did toss it, which I didn't. How was I supposed to know he was going to do that?
Remind me, what did it smell like?
Lavender and like matches.
It smelled like matches.
Matches. Yeah, like in the back of your throat.
No.
No.
You know, like when. All right, you know when someone puts a cigarette
don't
out on
think
your
we have
hand,
time for
kind of like
this.
that.
Regardless, you destroyed a city,
I didn't destroy a city.
pissed off angry orcs.
I-
Cave that you want to go to on the other side of a frozen lake.
Well, it's out of the way, innit?
What about Barnaby?
Oh shit! What about Barnaby?
Are we leaving?
Where did he go?
He was sent out to the front entrance. They're waiting for us at the front.
Well, we can't go to the front.
Do you want to go to the front? Do you want to explain?
Explain what?
Why the entire city is now destroyed. Their future home is destroyed.
It's not destroyed. It's purified.
Oh, you're one of those. Ooh,
One of what?
purifiers. Mm-hmm.
Purifiers? What do you mean?
You like to purify with the fire, makes everything nice.
I don't like
clean.
fire. I do not like fire. All right. Look, I didn't know it was gonna. I was just trying to hand it. I didn't do this on purpose.
We can tell them this, or we can say it was the banshee, or we can say we don't know.
I like that.
But
That's good.
I think they will very likely blame us, considering that we were running away from the start of the fire, and they saw us.
To be honest, I think compensation would be good.
But
Let's
we
say
did clear it.
What do orcs
everything
even
in-
like though.
Everything in Megan's pockets would do it.
Whoa.
Hmm.
Oh, now. Hang on.
Well,
Hang a banger now, right? No.
the banshee started the fire for everything in your pockets. Pretty sure that's what happened, right?
You don't want what's in my pockets.
Well, then you burned down the city.
I did not burn down the fucking city.
I think you
You
did.
tell them that.
You think angry orcs are gonna listen to you explain and lie by not telling the truth? Because that's definitely not what happened. You think they're gonna listen to you?
They were rather friendly orcs.
Have you seen Taldra open a fucking door?
Well,
I have
Seen
opened
them a couple times.
all of the
Perhaps we
doors.
ask them to count and
It's
breathe.
not gonna work, is it?
I don't.
I mean, you can tell them to count this and you hand them your gold.
How many orcs were in the whole place?
In the town, you mean?
Mm.
Before we left? I do not.
Someone roll me a history check if you want to recall it.
I think it was like
Just someone.
Yeah.
13.
We'll keep the 5. I just wanted the one roll. I think as best as you guys saw, you saw like a small colony. You could probably assume over 50.
There were like 50 of them. But also, those 50 could not defeat a measly little spirit. I don't think I even got a scratch from
Right,
it.
and also they did seem rather reasonable.
Yes, I think we can probably speak to them. And if they turn on us, we can either, teach them a lesson or just hand them Megan.
I like that second one.
I think we will
I'm
be
sprinting.
okay.
I'm going to the cave. I'm gone. I'm running. I'm booking it.
And Megan starts to walk towards it. Like as Megan starts to walk away, you can see him like shadily edging away, and he goes to turn. Kale, with your previous perception check there, you noticed like a small pair of boot prints in some of the snow across the ice that seems to lead in that direction. But Megan, you're turning and running.
What they want to give me to angry orcs.
It's up to you, man.
I'm running away from my
You can
life.
see Megan starting to like inch away. He's gotten like 5 to 6 feet away now, and he's like going to turn.
Hey, Megan, where are you going?
Off.
But you don't want to go get... No? You don't want to go to the orcs?
Run
I
from-
stop. I turn around and go. Well, on second thoughts, even faster.
I just walk the other direction towards the orcs.
Okay. Megan starts to run. Taldro, Kale, and
I will actually... I'm
Flying
gonna
out my
dash. I'm dashing after him. And I know I can
Here we
fucking
go.
outrun his ass. Oh, I know I can fucking outrun his ass.
The Tom and Jerry fucking dynamic that you two have going on is insane.
it's absolutely insane.
Megan has
Okay.
a dad.
Fucking OK 2.0.
Yeah. So as you start to run after him there, Megan, you start to book it. Was that what it said? SSJ2?
Yeah, that guy's going Super
Okay.
Saiyan, right?
Yeah. No, that's an orc. He's green. He's green because he's an orc. He's an angry orc. He represents 50 of them. Megan starts to dash. Cash, you start to take off after him immediately. Taldro and Kale, maybe you two just defeatedly turn and start to walk towards the angry horde of orcs that's coming down the shoreway of this mountain. And I think that's where we pick up next week. I have a doctor's appointment at 6:30, guys, so I gotta jump off soon. And I didn't want to, like, you were like, I run, and I was like, okay, all right, all right. Oh man, thank you so much everyone for tuning in. But we gotta cut a short session today. Thank you so much. We'll pick up next week, Thursday, 4 p.m. when I don't know, Megan either gets like a javelin through the back or Kesh just like sliding triple kick
Kesh,
punches.
How far can you move in one turn?
Me?
Don't tell
Dashing?
him. Let him find out the hard
If
way.
you use all your turns to move, how far can you get?
Blink of an eye, I could be where you're at.
Because I can get 90 feet.
PvP is gonna be hilarious.
I can get, let me see actually, because I have a fucking, I just need level 6. Oh my god, do I want level 6?
Yes, Sithis, thank you. Better short session than no session. Well, thanks to Brad, because Brad, like, he woke up this morning and he was like, I have a disgusting migraine. And we were like, oh no.
Thank you.
Like,
No, let's
thanks
thank
for trucking
Nurofen.
through it.
Let's thank Nurofen for the double dose of ibuprofen that's currently pulsing through my bloodstream.
Oh,
keeping me
man.
alive.
Thank you guys. Thank you four for playing today. Thank you so much. Sorry again for the short session, but I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for making it great. Let's go around real quick. We'll do some outros, maybe some intros, maybe some more outros. We'll start with Mr. Tuesday Gray.
Hi guys, I'm Mr. Tuesday Gray. You can find me at /Mr. Tuesday Gray on Twitch and Twitter. And don't forget to go to the Tablestory Patreon because there's cool stuff that happens there, podcasts and all kinds of things. And you can even get a character in one of our games at some point, which is a really, really cool thing to be able to do. So check it out. And thanks for watching.
Go check them all out. There's lots of DM goodies over there too. Peachy, why don't you tell them all about the DM goodies on our Patreon and
DM
what you
goodies
do?
on the Patreon. Make sure you are signed up for the Patreon because they're always giving shit away. I'm not clever enough to understand what they do, but they seem to do a lot of stuff, and there's always shows, so they've done something. I don't know. I'm the kind of person that just give money to someone and then get the stuff. So you should do that too.
I feel like Ralph all the time. I'm like, I'm helping. It's hard.
I literally just come on a show and just act like a twat.
Yeah.
But that's what I do on my stream. If you like it loud and weird and acting like a twat, come watch me twitch.tv/PeachyPixelate.
Yeah.
I make music for stuff as well. You might have heard some of the. Have you played any of them?
His stuff is really good.
Yeah, it was playing through most of it. Yeah, the kind of like description slash, you know, describing or some kind of like strange moment paused in whatever. Yeah, that was.
Come on, just come and hang out. I will pimp the shit out of myself on my own channel if you come to my channel.
Buys merch.
Buy merch. Mm-hmm.
Buys merch. Zot, do you have merch?
I do not yet,
No?
but this is going to be the year I do it. So that's actually kind of in the work. Yeah, it's in the back. Anyways, hi, what's going on? How are we doing? Zapbot on literally everything. Make sure you do the cool thing and that Patreon down below. Follow button wherever the fuck they decided to move it to this time, and do the sub thing too, because all those Tablestory emotes are pretty goddamn amazing.
Okay, Brad.
So yeah, we doing good. Yeah.
Oh, Bradley, what's
Everything about Brad.
Hello,
and
everybody.
Brad's
It's me,
face.
Brad Wotan. I control the OBS for this game, and here we are. This is just like some of Zotbot's emotes, unless you don't have the big face emotes anymore. Maybe you've got them
I still have the
somewhere.
big face.
He's still got one
Hmm.
somewhere in there. Thanks for watching. I'm also on this channel sometimes. You can catch Darkfire for what can only be described as the beginning of the end. Next Tuesday, that's the D&D that I run. Other than that, we've got a show. What's it called, Jay, on Saturday? Guest GM?
In the black.
On Saturday, Guest GM Blue Jay, part 3. So if you want to see a short mini-series, then there is a show on Saturdays. What is it called?
In the black.
Yeah.
I thought we agreed on mini shot.
Mini shot. With
Why do you keep asking me? Am I getting it wrong?
no, I just refuse to say it. And if you want to watch that, then you can catch that on the VODs too. And I recommend that you check that out in time for Saturday, because that's the last one of those before the next one, which is run by Peachy Pixel 8, and that is called, what is that called?
In the red.
Instinct.
End the show, Jay. End it.
Oh, thank you all so much for watching. You guys can catch us here next Thursday, 4 p.m. Hopefully we can continue the story and see Peachy get kicked in the back of the face by Cash. It might be great, might be terrible. Oh my God, it's so terrifying.
I love
on
it.
the overlay. Thank you all again for watching. Like everyone said, please follow all these amazing players. Go check them out and follow our stream. Sub to us with Twitch Prime. Join us on the Discord. If you're watching on YouTube, come check us out on a Twitch show and watch Halcyon Unbound and all of our other shows this week.
Halcyon
That's
Unbound
all.
tomorrow. Also, I posted a meme
Thanks
in
for
the RagTags Discord, so
Oh, I thought
join
we were...
our Discord.
Mm.
Bye.
Oh my God.
Bye.
Oh man.
Bye,
guys.
everyone.
Bye.
I hate my face so much. It needs to go away.